Kelly's POV? I was lying on the bed, naked under the white sheets. I'm watching Pierce intently as he watched me while caressing my hair with his fingers. He was looking at me with care, with admiration. My heart is fluttering. He's my best friend, but I feel like we can be beyond that. I'm in love with him. So much in love with him that I feel like I would die if I lost him. Why are you staring at me like that? I swallowed hard as I felt the discomfort between my legs. I gave myself to him last night, after we got married. What if I get pregnant? He doesn't love me the way I love him. He only married me because of his grandparents. His grandmother is sick and our families are friends. We have been arranged to marry ever since we were in high school, and I never thought he'd agree to this marriage. He gently caressed my cheek as his eyes softened. Kels, you know I'm not ready to be a father. I'm not even ready to get married. I just did this because of my grandparents. I know you have the same reason. I felt my heart breaking apart from what he said. I gave him a smile even when I was breaking inside. He moved closer to me, hugged me, and gently placed a kiss on my forehead. I sucked my breath and squeezed my eyes closed. This is insane. Really insane. Why did I even fall in love with my best friend? Kels. Kelly, wake up ... Someone shook my shoulders. Kels, come on, why did you sleep here? I slowly opened my eyes and lifted my face. I realized I fell asleep on my office table and my neck and back are now sore. Pierce. I looked at the man beside me. You look tired. Have you been working overtime these past few days? I stared at his face. He's here. Why is he here? From what I remember, he went out with his first love. I felt a pang in my chest because of that thought. What time is it? He smiled. It's almost 4 p.m. I came with someone. Someone. My forehead creased as I rolled my eyes and my mood instantly changed after I saw a familiar woman sitting comfortably on the couch while watching her. There was disgust in her eyes, but when Pierce looked her way, she immediately flashed a sweet smile. I brought Lexi here to talk about our contract with her. She will be our new model. I looked at Pierce again with a blank face. Bummer. Come here, Lexi. Kels will talk to you about the contract. Contract? She's supposed to undergo an interview and pass it, Pierce. He looked at me and scratched his cheek. About that, Kels. Can we let her pass without it? You know, for old time's sake. You'll do that to just anyone for old time's sake? Pierce's expression immediately changed. He clenched his jaws and glanced at Lexi while my eyes remained on him, watching his reaction. It's okay if I have to undergo an interview, Pierce. Lexi stole my attention because of what she said. I looked at her with a stoic expression on my face. You must like cutting corners. I said nonchalantly. Kels. Pierce held my arm and looked at Lexi apologetically. I clenched my jaws and looked him in the eyes. You're the president, Pierce. You can do whatever you want. His forehead creased as he slowly shook his head. What's our problem, Kels? Nothing. I shook my head and grabbed my bag as I pulled myself up. I pulled my arm back from him and smiled. Break a leg. Kels. I walked out of my own office with a heavy heart. I kept on clenching my jaws and gritting my teeth. He's dumb. He's just handsome, but he's dumb. He dared to bring his first love to talk to me about the damn contract. Stupid and insensitive. Kelly. I ignored him and continued walking. The employees around are watching us, but I don't give a damn. I went straight to the elevator and pushed the floor of the basement parking lot. I stared into Pierce's eyes as the door of the elevator slowly slid closed and he stood in front, staring at my face. I don't want to argue with him about Lexi, so I better leave now and let them do what they want. I just can't accept the fact that Lexi is too shameless to show her face to me after she came back like nothing and started treating my gullible husband like a dog. Luke was already waiting for me in the car when I reached the parking lot. He was puffing his cigarette again, but he immediately threw it and stepped on it after he saw me coming. Drive home, I said coldly and entered the car. I pressed my lips together and sucked my breath, trying to calm myself down. I shouldn't be weak. For my baby. Luke ... Yes, ma'am? I looked outside the window. I sucked my breath and shook my head. Nothing. When I got home, I immediately cleaned myself up. I took a shower and started cooking dinner for myself. I bet Pierce is already eating with his bitch of a mistress. It's making me bitter. Kelly. I was just about to start eating when I heard Pierce's angry voice. I lifted my face and looked at him. He rushed to me with an angry face and reddened neck. What did he do? My forehead creased. I cooked. He pulled his hair and grabbed my shoulders. You told my father about Lexi. Why did he do that? You recklessly go out with your mistress. Now you're putting the blame on me? News indeed is wings. Fascinating, isn't it? Don't go sarcastic on me, Kelly. You know what I truly feel about her. Why are you doing this to me? All I ask is your understanding, Kels. You don't have to do this. I pushed him away angrily. Why are you taking it out on me? Are you sure that it was me? No one will do this except for you, Kelly. Now I know why something was off. You're angry with me and now you're dragging our family into this. I laughed sarcastically and pushed the chair away. It fell on the tiled floor, creating a loud thud, but I don't care. I looked him in the eye as I fought the rage in it. He's acting like this because of his mistress. He's unbelievable. If dumb people could swim, you would be a fish. Don't turn your back on me. Oh, I will. I growled angrily as I glared at him. I would turn my back on you whenever I want, Pierce, but you know what? I can't. I want to, but I can't. Do you understand that? I badly want to leave you now because you're treating me like trash. You said I'm important to you. You said I'm one of the people you treasure. But is this how you treat your treasure? His lips parted as he stared into my eyes. I shook my head with trembling lips. You know what? If I were to get rid of her, I would go straight to her and smash her face with a freaking silver baseball bat then play like a stupid housewife. You're barking at the wrong tree, Pierce. Kelly's POV? I slowly turned around and I'm certain I paled when I saw two people standing a few meters away from us. From the corner of my eyes, I saw Pierce still on the floor, looking at the newcomers with a shocked face. Gee, Grams. I mumbled as I felt my throat dry. She shook her head as she laughed nervously. I must be hearing things. How's everyone? I missed all of you, so we paid a visit. Grams. Pierce pulled himself up and walked towards his grandmother. She was the one who raised him, so he loved her and respected her so much. I cut my mouth when Grams ignored Pierce and looked away. I took a deep breath and gathered all my courage to speak again. Grams, I'm sorry. She looked at me with tears in her eyes. Did my grandson hurt you, Kelly? I shook my head. No, Grams. He's the sweetest. I just feel like I need to let him go because we're not really meant for each other. Kelly. I heard Mrs. Anderson sobbing. Grams shook her head and caressed her cheek. Grandpa immediately joined her and supported her as she almost lost her balance. I felt my heart almost stop beating because of what happened. However, I remained in my place as I watched Pierce try to help his grandma. She slowly nodded and smiled bitterly. I want you to end up together because I know you have a deeper connection. I know you will take care of each other and love each other more than anyone. I am sorry for putting you in a complicated situation. I just thought ... Grams. I rushed to her and held her hands. I shook my head and smiled at her. I know. We know your intention, that's why we tried it. We gave it a try, Grams, but we didn't work. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for lying, Grams. I don't want to hurt you because you're like a real grandmother to me. The dinner didn't end well. Mr. Anderson walked out after Graham's emotional breakdown. She cried and asked for forgiveness for putting me in the situation, but it's not her fault because even if she threatened me to marry her grandson, without my feelings for him, I wouldn't. Kelly. I stopped in my tracks after Pierce called my name, almost a whisper. We're now home and I couldn't face him. The conversation with his family didn't really end well. Even if Graham said it's okay to choose myself, I know I'm hurting her inside. I know she's brokenhearted. Did you ... mean what you said? His voice sounds tired and lifeless. I pressed my lips together and tightened my grip on my pouch. Heaving a sigh, I slowly turned to face him. He was looking straight into my eyes as if he was actually waiting for me to look at him. I mean everything I said, Pierce. He swallowed hard. There was something in his eyes. Confusion, pain, and thankfulness. I don't know why he's being like this, but I'm not doing this just for him. I'm doing this for me too. I want a complete family for my baby, but I'm not going to settle for the small things he can offer. I love him, but I will love my baby more. Kels, you're not drifting apart because of this, right? My forehead creased. He expects me to stick to him even after all of these? He's selfish. Kels. Pierce, I'm tired. Let's talk tomorrow. He sighed and slowly nodded. He walked towards me and planted a kiss on my forehead. I squeezed my eyes closed as I felt my heart wrenching. I'm gonna miss this. I'm gonna miss everything about him. His care, his love, his smile, his laugh, everything. God, if only I could stay with him. Good night, Kels. I opened my eyes and nodded at him. I turned my back and went upstairs. He was following me and I felt his stares as I walked towards the guest room. Won't guess this is our fate. We are just meant to be best friends and we'll never go beyond that. I didn't sleep well. I kept on thinking about Graham's, about Pierce's parents, and even about my baby. I felt so sick when I woke up. I quickly ran to the bathroom and puked. I groaned as I felt the bitter taste of the liquid I spit. After washing my mouth, I immediately took all my clothes off so I could bathe when the door suddenly opened and Pierce entered with a worried face. Kelly. My eyes widened as I looked at him. I couldn't move. I couldn't even cover my naked body. My cheeks heated even when he had already seen my body multiple times. His lips parted when he realized he was standing before my naked body. He immediately turned around and cursed multiple times. He's panicking and his neck is reddening. Are you okay? I heard you vomiting. Are you not feeling well? I swallowed hard and took a deep breath. I grabbed a bathrobe and answered. I'm fine. You can turn around now. He faced me and examined my whole body. His face looked so worried as his hand fled to my forehead. You seemed fine, he said, almost a whisper. I gave him a small smile. TM fine. He clenched his jaws and massaged the bridge of his nose as he whispered ... Damn, you didn't eat properly last night. I'm sorry. Can you order us some food, please? I'm famished. He was quick to nod. What do you want? Just pasta. Okay. He caressed my arm and cheek before he turned his back and left. My shoulders dropped as I watched him gently close the door. His feelings never changed. He still sees me as his best friend. My phone rang as soon as I stepped out of the bathroom. The family lawyer of the Anderson family is the one calling. I immediately answered the call. Hello, attorney. Mrs. Anderson, I'm on my way to your house now. I have the document with me. I nodded as I stared at my own reflection in the mirror. Thank you, attorney. We'll be waiting. When I went downstairs, Pierce was already preparing the table for our breakfast. I suddenly felt starving as soon as my eyes landed on the pasta. However, someone rang the bell. I went straight to the door and was welcomed by attorney Wade Morgan. Good morning, Mrs. Anderson. I smiled at him. Good morning, attorney. Come in. Who's there, Kelly? Pierce appeared behind me even before attorney Morgan stepped his foot inside the house. Pierce's lips parted after he saw the person standing in front of us. Good morning, Mr. Anderson. Pierce looked at me, so I gave him a smile. He's here to deliver and process our divorce papers? Pierce didn't answer. We ate our breakfast and only me and attorney Morgan were talking. Pierce is strangely silent, but I feel like it's because he's worried about his grandmother. Our breakfast ended in a deafening silence, and when it was time to sign the divorce papers, I felt suffocated. I stared at the piece of paper that would completely end my relationship with my husband. Now, I'm getting back to just being his best friend, but I don't think I'd be okay with that. After all of these, I think it's better for me to slowly exit his life, so I can focus on my own, so I can take care of myself. I won't deny that he made me so happy during those 3 years of being married to him, but I know it's only my stolen moments. Now, it's time to end this false happiness. Taking a deep breath, I signed my name on the divorce paper.